Genshin Impact has a very big problem. They put important lore in time-limited events. So if you joined the game after version 2.3, you might not know that Albedo is a synthetic human. He was created by his master Ryan's daughter, that he also refers to as his mother. She was a great alchemist that lived in Kaeya 500 years ago, and was a creator of Albedo as well as his brother Durin and Rift Hounds. She disappeared during the Cataclysm, leaving Albedo with the task of discovering the truth and meaning of this world. Till this day, Albedo seeks to reunite with his master by completing the assignment he was given. I bet you barely remember first appearance of Amber in game, but there is one interesting detail you might have missed. In Knights of Avonion's handbook, the same one with rule about Noelle, there are also instructions about how to greet strangers. More precisely, there is prohibited language. Hey you! Stop right there! State your identity, Outlanders! All of these are prohibited phrases. And now let me remind you what Amber said.
Hey you! Stop right there! You don't look like citizens of Mondstadt. Explain yourselves.
What do you think? Should we still report it to Jean after 2 years? Looking at this cute shining idol, what would you guess her favorite food is? You might be as surprised as I was, because it's spicy dried fish. Turns out that Barbara is actually a big spice lover, and pretty much everyone in Mondstadt knows it. Recently, Sarah from Good Hunter decided to import some Leo chili peppers. Allegedly, they are hot enough to reduce even people like Barbara to tears. Most likely, Barbara will try them the same day they arrive, so maybe don't let her touch your face when it happens. You probably heard Bennett referring to his parents as dads, but have you ever wondered who those dads are? Hearing this, you might have misjudged that he was raised by a homosexual couple, which is not really the case. As a baby, Bennett was separated from his parents and was meant to die until an old adventurer found him. Soon, this old adventurer died from severe injuries, leaving only the child he had saved. Several single childless men from Adventurers Guild decided to take care of the baby as their own, and named him Bennett. So now, Bennett calls each one of them dad, and they are only happy to hear it. You might know that despite Diluc being the owner of Dawn Winery, he is not a big fan of alcohol. And as usual, there is also a story behind that. Because of his job, he has to taste different alcohol, including ones from other regions. One day, Diluc was discussing partnership with Snezhnaya merchants when they offered Diluc to try their product, famous firewater. Clueless Diluc poured a whole glass of Snezhnaya special and downed the entire thing. Diluc stayed strong up until the end of banquet, but right after he passed out for whole 3 days. Some of them thought he got poisoned, but Diluc's maid reassured everyone that Master just got very drunk. Either this is the reason, or he just hates Kaeya. You might know that Diona works in Cat's Tail. What you probably don't know is that she has absolutely no idea how to mix drinks. More than that, she really hates alcohol and wants to destroy wine industry. And despite trying her best to create abomination each time, she remains the best bartender. The reason for it is that Diona was blessed by Spring Fairy, so every drink she makes will taste great. It happened when Diona was just 7, so she considered it a dream. Till this day she has yet to realize that her troublesome situation is caused by that dream. Looking at second best sword fighter in Mondstadt, you might not expect her to be a very talented chef. It all started in Lawrence clan with their strict educational regime. They demanded all Eula's noble obligations to be perfect, including etiquette, blade work, and even domestic chores. But as a result of that, nowadays even Knights of Avonion's chef gets inspired by Eula's baked goods. More than that, Eula is the only character in Genshin that has 4-star special dish. So maybe next time try asking her to cook something for you, but don't forget to compliment it, otherwise she'll get her revenge. There is a cool thing about Fischl's outfit. Have you ever noticed this? No, I mean this. See those gems? Yes, they are glowing when Fischl's ult is ready. You know what also glows when ult is ready? Right, her vision does. That means these gems, or almost like her whole outfit, was created by the power of her vision. That leads to one important question. What happens if she loses her vision in the middle of a fight? Jean is the current acting Grandmaster and Dandelion Knight. She is ready to help everyone and puts Mondstadt needs before her own. But when you get closer with her, you might discover that she too has a gentle nature. No matter how many times she has read the historical classics, Jean still loves romance novels. She yearns for the mutual attraction described in such stories, for those emotions as subtle, fragile as spider silk. Even though Jean appears strict and responsible protector of Mondstadt, she still remains lady. So maybe next time pick up some flowers for her and show her attention she deserves. Have you ever wondered why Kaeya wears eye patch? He claims that he inherited it from his grandfather, a pirate, and copies him since childhood. In reality, Kaeya uses it to hide a scar acquired in a fight against Diluc after their father passed away. For some time, Diluc even believed that he had blinded Kaeya, and although Kaeya allowed him to continue believing, Diluc nowadays is aware that Kaeya is not blind. But there is possibly another reason. Some characters that hail from Kaenria, such as Daneslave and Piero, also carve the same side of their faces. So who knows, maybe Kaeya is somehow connected to the Cataclysm. You know that Klee is a very curious child, and despite being grounded countless times, she keeps running away. One day, right before her birthday, Klee managed to slip away while Jin was busy working and managed to get all the way to Primo G's shop. This menace didn't hesitate for a single second and blew up the poor lizard. She picked up shiny scales and, to get rid of evidence, gifted them to Traveler. But keep it a secret, Jin will not be happy to hear it. You know Lisa, our family-friendly librarian with big beautiful eyes. It's hard to imagine that she fears anything, but there is one thing she is particularly afraid of. As ridiculous as it sounds, Lisa suffers from fear of pumpkins. Yes, pumpkins. The fall harvest is a very difficult time of the year for her, since these scary orange things are everywhere. Sometimes she even wonders if she should get rid of all the pumpkins in the world. And considering that she is the best Summer Academia graduate, it might be more than just an empty threat. If you have Mona, you probably witnessed countless times this idol animation. But did you know that there are actually 3 different ones? And have you ever wondered what is she viewing there? In fact, each constellation you have seen has its owner in-game: Amber, Lisa, and Jin. And the same exact constellations appear in her ult effect. It tells us that these constellations actually exist in Teyvat, which Mona uses to tell that the next constellation you are getting will be a Chi-Chi. Did you know that there is a special line about Noelle in Knights of Favonius handbook? Noelle is a very hardworking maid and always eager to help. No wonder that some people wanted to abuse it. Some of the most lazy knights used to call Noelle and delegate their duties to her. Thus, Jin had to officially prohibit doing that to both be able to punish work-shy knights and help Noelle. But if even these people were accepted, why Jin still thinks Noelle is not ready? As a child, Razor was taken in Wolf's pack by Andreas, but wolves don't know how to wield a sword, use vision or talk, so who taught him? One day, Grandmaster Varka came in Wolvendom and disrupted Razor's peaceful life. At first, Razor and wolves were very cautious about tall men, but soon Varka managed to earn their trust. He told Razor his name and invited him to Mondstadt, where taught him how to use Claymore to protect himself and his family. Another person was Lisa. She became Razor's mentor and taught him how to read, speak, and use his Electrovision. Thanks to these two and new friends Razor managed to find in Mondstadt, he is able to live his life as he does now. Did you know that Rosaria, despite being a nun, doesn't even know a Nemo god's name? She calls him
Animo Archon Barsabedo.
So you may wonder, why does someone like her work in church then? When Rosaria was just a child, she was taken from Mountain Village by the very same bandits who destroyed it. She spent many years with bandit crew that raised her, up until all of them were wiped out by Knights of Favonius. But Rosaria was given another chance. Grandmaster Varka brought her to Mondstadt and advised to go to the cathedral and be cleansed. Till this day, despite avoiding church activities like fire, she stays with them. Who knows, maybe it's her way of saying thank you. Sucrose has a very curious mind and sometimes she wants to learn about other people. But that becomes a problem since she's one of the most social awkward people in Teyvat. One day, Diona became a victim of our mad scientist. Both of them have animal ears, so Sucrose wondered if they might have shared ancestry. But instead of simply asking, she resorted to the method she knew the best: observation. For 1 whole month, Sucrose was stuck in Diona, giving her constant unnerving feeling. And the only reason she had to stop her research was inability to get bone samples. If you look at Venti, you probably won't be able to guess that he's thousands years old. He looks more like a teenager, and that's exactly what bartenders of Mondstadt think as well. But you also know that Venti loves to drink, so how does he get it? Venti arrived in Mondstadt as a bard, and as soon as he had few more, he hurried off to spend it in a tavern. But once he realized that his childlike appearance meant he can't acquire alcohol, he decided to change his approach. The strategy he developed was drinking a job. He was playing the lyre while holding wine cup in his mouth, urging his audience to buy him a drink instead of giving Mora. Unexpectedly, that novelty was the very reason he became so popular in Mondstadt.